Hey folks, welcome to today's train review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the EZTEC Scientific Toys Grand Canyon Express train set, which I believe I purchased back in 2006 and 2007 and is now considered a vintage toy train as the manufacturer has since stopped making this type of train. So let's give it an overview. Here we have the locomotive, the tender, which is beautifully decorated with gold coal, the hopper car from Union Pacific, a Rio Grande boxcar, and a Rio Grande caboose. And the locomotive itself is also from Rio Grande. And as you can see, if you look closely, it is the Grand Canyon Express is closely related to my Christmas train, the North Pole Express. As you can see, they use the same 260 locomotive and the same type of tender. But since the Grand Canyon Express is a much older train, you will notice differences off the bat. As you can see, there is an open cab with a figurine in it, and if you look closely, there is a button on the caboose. When you press that button, you will reveal the battery compartment. Instead of the locomotive, the tender holds the batteries for the Grand Canyon Express set. And to power the train, of course, you need that plug. So as a result of the plug, you don't have that much freedom when it comes to running this train. On the contrary, when we look at the North Pole Express set, the batteries are instead stored in the locomotive, which has been their thing since the 2010s. So right now we are going to power up the locomotive of the Grand Canyon Express. Unfortunately, the headlight does not work, however, the main locomotive actually still functions perfectly, especially since I've kept this stored for quite a while. So, here is your remote. This actually is not the original remote. I had to get this from eBay. So, as we can see, when you press the up button, the locomotive goes forward. Press the middle button to stop the train, and then press the backwards button to make the train go in reverse. And as you can tell, it's actually much faster than my North Pole Express train set, thanks to the fact that it uses more batteries. And then, this button here is for the sound. Another feature I should have showed you is that since this is an older train, you can actually open the boxcar. Unfortunately, they took away that in the mid-2010s, and when they first started making the locomotive-powered models, they actually didn't have the mini square here to point out the screw, and then also the boxcar was still having sliding doors. I don't know why they took that away, but whatever, it is what it is. So anyway, we are going to now do some run-throughs with the Grand Canyon Express. And of course, we're going to run the sound, which by the way is very loud. So watch your ears. So let's do the run-through. that was the run through. Oh, I also forgot. It also has the same feature on the dome of the Norfolk Express. This gold colored dome with the black button is how you start the locomotive without a remote. So, one tap. And there it goes. Alright, and I guess we can do a couple more differences to point out. As you can see, they have both the Norfolk Express and the Grand Canyon Express have similar funnels, but if you look closely, you can see these little bolts on the top of the smokestack. That is where the smoke comes out, but unfortunately, I don't think we were not able to see it well, so maybe one day if I can add some more oil into it, you'll be able to see the smoke better. As I said earlier, the boxcar on the Grand Canyon Express is able to open on both sides, whereas on the Norfolk Express boxcar, which I put here, unfortunately, they have sealed the doors, and yeah, that's quite a disappointment, but at least it's still detailed enough. And when we look at the remote, this belongs to the Norfolk Express and any subsequent train remotes made by Scientific and EZTEC, and as you can see, there's actually quite a difference. And it is in the 2010s that they stopped making the remote with the antenna. However, the black colored remote were made starting when the trains like the Norfolk Express had their batteries inside the cab instead. So yeah, and might as well give you a bonus feature. So just set the Norfolk Express aside. As you can see, I have a very old New Bright train set, which unfortunately does not work anymore. Basically, for the New Bright train set, you would be able to put batteries, which are 5AA batteries, inside this power clip. All right, let me take it out. See, this is a new Bright power clip, but unfortunately, because I discovered this train a bit too late, that's the reason why the train does not work anymore, because as a result of it being a very old train, it does not work that properly anymore. So nowadays I just have it as a static display. So basically, the static display includes of both the locomotive, which is actually really detailed relatively. You have the main tender, which, as in the case of the Grand Canyon Express train set, you do need to have the tender behind the locomotive because of this unique coupler compared to this coupler, which would hook up the other cars. And this is the caboose of the New Bright train. It did come with 2 other coaches, but unfortunately they are not. Those 2 coaches are not in perfect condition, so I decided not to display it. But yeah. Alrighty then. This is the review of my Grand Canyon Express train set. Here's one more shot of the 3 trains, and that'll be it.